So today we're going to be talking about thesis statements. So I know we have your upcoming essay, so I want to make sure everybody's prepared and knows what they're doing for that. So we're going to talk about those today. So does anybody know right off the bat what thesis statements are? Maybe you've done them in the past before? Yeah, Davey.
They're like the main idea of your essay.
Exactly, yeah. They're just your argument. They're what you want anybody who reads your essay to take away from it. So where does it come in your paper? Is it like the end, the middle, the beginning? What do you think? Yeah, Katherine.
The beginning.
Yeah, definitely the beginning, because you don't want somebody to read your whole essay and then like finally at the end they're like, oh, that's what that's what it's about. That's pretty, you don't want that. So you put it, it's usually one sentence, 1 to 2 sentences at the end of your introductory paragraph. Okay, so now let's talk about what makes a really good thesis statement, because I'm sure you guys will all have one by then. So first thing that you want to make sure to do is, usually when you have an essay, your teacher will give you a prompt and you have to respond to the prompt. And so basically you want to make sure that you actually answer the question. You want to answer the question of whatever they ask. You don't want to go off on a tangent about anything else. So for example, the essay that you guys have, it's about which civilizations do you think have the greatest impact on Spanish history and culture? So in your thesis, you already know that you're gonna have to answer that question. You're gonna have to pick a civilization, and then that's what you're gonna talk about. And you want to make sure you're not wishy-washy. You want to make sure to take a stand. So for example, you don't want to say, well, the Romans were really important, but also the Muslims are pretty important, and then also the Visigoths are pretty important. You want to make sure to pick one and to just find examples and stuff to back up your point. And so going along with this, you don't want to use words like I think or maybe. Why wouldn't we want to use stuff like that? Yeah.
It doesn't seem very objective.
Yeah, exactly, and it makes you sound kind of like you don't really know what you're talking about. You want to pretend you're the expert for this essay, and you're trying to convince us all, you're trying to persuade us all that your opinion is right and your answer is right. So you pick a topic, you take a stand, and then the whole rest of your essay is going to be using like historical facts, information, to your evidence, is what we call it, to back up your claim. And you want to make sure that it's clear and simple. So for example, just answering the question that we had before, we could just say, the Roman civilization's rule of Spain had the greatest impact on Spanish history and culture. So that's like your basic thesis statement. See how we just kind of reworded the question and then put in our answer. So that's clear, it's simple, it's basic. But then we have to put our thesis through what I call the how and why test. So the how and why test is basically you look at your thesis and you ask yourself, is the first thing that comes to mind how or why about your thesis? If it makes you think of those questions, then you need to make it a little bit more specific. So let's look at our thesis again. So the Roman civilization's rule of Spain had the greatest impact on Spanish history and culture. What do you think? Does that pass the how and why test?
No.
No, why not? Yeah.
Because we don't know what the Romans did or why they're important.
Exactly, yeah. We kind of have like a vague idea about what the essay is about, but we don't really know specifically. So what kind of things did the Romans give to Spanish history and culture? Yeah, Katherine. Architecture. Anyone else throw things out there? Digby.
Language. Religion.
Yeah, exactly. All these things. So let's pick 2 of those and add it. So let's say architecture and language. So we just add this onto the front. Because of its many important contributions to the Spanish language as well as to Spanish architecture, the Roman civilization's rule of Spain had the greatest impact on Spanish history and culture. So you see how we just put those 2 things together and now we know exactly what the essay is going to be about.
Yeah.
So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, now you all know how to write a thesis statement. Perfect. So let's go through this little chant and it'll help you remember kind of what we're talking about. So I'll read it through the first time and you repeat and then we'll do it all together. So, to write a thesis nice and strong.
To write a thesis nice and strong.
Answer the question, you can't go wrong.
Answer the question, you can't go wrong.
Put it in the intro so that we know.
Put it in the intro so that we know
where your essay is going to go.
Where your essay is going to go.
Make it clear, simple, and take a stand.
Make it clear, simple, and take a stand.
And use your evidence to expand.
And use your evidence to expand.
If it passes the test for why and how.
If it passes the test for why and how.
Then you've got an awesome thesis now.
Then you've got an awesome thesis now.
Alright, let's do it all together. Ready?
Ready.
To write a thesis nice and strong, answer the question and you can't go wrong. Put it in the intro so that we know where your essay is going to go. Make it clear, simple, and take a stand. Then use your evidence to expand. If it passes the test for why and how, then you've got an awesome thesis now. Awesome! Great job, guys. Thank you.